Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's episode, we're going to start carpeting out our Defender 90. Now, we're at the stage with our build that we need to start focusing on the interior a bit because everything's going to be so much easier to work with the roof off. And it's easy for me to film as well. So for you guys, it's the best time to do everything. Now, we're going to have 3 levels to this installation. We need to soundproof the vehicle, which we're going to be using Dynamat to do. And then we're going to be laying on top of that a premium carpet set from Exmoor Trim. Now, Exmoor Trim have been doing carpet sets for years and, well, decades probably. And they really know what they're doing. And I've fitted quite a few. And I'm hoping this one's going to be as good as all the others I've fitted. Now, we have a slight difference in our vehicle because it's not a genuine 4-seater. And they do a 4-seater Puma carpet kit, which has got the little cutouts for all the seats and everything. Ours is just for a 90 hardtop, but I'm going to have to modify it slightly because we are going to be fitting the lock and fold seats. Now, because we've taken the bulkhead out, there's another change to that layout, but it does mean we've got a huge piece of carpet spare that we can cut into to sort of like fabricate what we need further into the cab. Now, immediately, you'll see the problem we have. Because we don't have the bulkhead, it doesn't stop. And so these aren't quite long enough because they do extend right up to the B-pillar, if you like, where the striker is for the front door. So essentially, that's got to go all the way to the front. So again, we're going to have to utilise some of that spare material. We're going to be fitting a premium audio system into this vehicle as well with a sub and an amp. So we're going to be fitting Mud's speaker pods. So again, we don't need these bits of carpet. So we have got loads of nice offcuts. So we've got our first panel here that sits like so. Then we've got our extra trim piece that will sit above it, like that. And what we have to do is extend it into this area here because this is going to be visible. Now, another thing that's new for Exmoor Trim is they used to supply the carpet sets with spray-on contact adhesive. They've now switched over to the more intricate double-sided sticky tape. Now, this is good as long as you prepare your surfaces correctly. It does have a habit of sort of falling apart a little bit. The only thing that's in our favour is because we're fitting the plastic surrounds that will cover here and obviously our side windows, everything's going to kind of lock into it, so it's all going to get trapped, which is great. It's just the area here and here which I always worry about. Now, to be fair, we are going to be fitting the lock and fold seats, so yet again, there is something that's going to clamp it all into place. So when we do the initial fit out, it might look a little bit not quite trimmed as best it can, and that is just so that I'm able to take things out if I need to. Also, so that everything's going to hold it in place. What I need to make sure in this video is that we've got enough material to cover the whole interior of the vehicle. So the first thing I'm going to do is just give this all a bit of a clean so we can start getting our sound ending in place, ready for the carpet. Now, normally I would use the 8-pack of Dynamat because it comes in nice sort of 18-inch square panels, I think. But for these large sections on the seat box, I'm going to use some large sections, basically. So these are almost the right size. And if you've never worked with Dynamat before, let me just explain a little bit to you. So it's got a foil reflective surface which helps dissipate and reflect heat. It's then got this, I don't know what this material is, but it's basically got a gummy back which is adhesive and also sound deadening. And it really does make a difference. So that is where we are at the moment. The nice thing about the new Dynamat is it comes in what calls a squared design, and that makes cutting a lot easier because you just basically lay it on top, calculate how many squares you need, and cut. So we're literally going to go right in the middle of this one. Okay. Trim a little bit here. And here. When you're using this stuff, don't throw away any of the offcuts because they are so invaluable. So I have a big pile of offcuts there, look. Now, if I'm honest, that's probably overkill. We don't need as much as that, but we've got it. I want to do an absolutely amazing job on this. So I am going to fit it like it with a whole panel. But you could probably get away with half of that on here would still do a really good job of keeping the sound down. Peel off our back. And it's super sticky, so just be careful. I'm doing it at this angle for your benefit. Try and lay it on in one go, because otherwise it's a pain. Dynamat also do a roller, which doesn't sound like any good, but it is really good. So if you can get yourself a rolling pin, if you haven't got one of these, if you have got one of these, it's worth investing. If you're doing the whole vehicle, I'd definitely invest in one of their little rollers because it makes the finish so much better. To get a really good acoustic effect, you've got to push it down right through onto the panel. Right, are you ready for the sound test? I mean, it's just a massive difference. Brilliant. So for us, we need it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares deep. I'm just pulling the material towards me. You can tell my other half, she's a seamstress, can't you? She's taught me everything I know. Okay, so a nice clean edge at the top. I'm going to go just in here. And when you're fitting the bigger panels, you can fold it, look, in place, and that will give you a guide to where you need to cut. So, just using 2 pieces on here for now. We're going to probably Dynamat this lower section as well. We'll do that another day, but let's get our carpet on here now. It's nice up against the bulkhead. And there's a little trim pocket there. That is going to be a super nice one. Notice this looks a little bit different to the stuff they've had before, so I'm hoping it's a bit better. I didn't find the previous stuff that good. It's very light. This will be better. It's going to stick far better to my Dynamat than it is the paintwork. Right, so we've got all our tape in place. So we've got the back there. I've done a piece either side of our filler neck, all the way along. So now, if we take that backing off, we should just be able to lay our carpet straight on and hopefully it will stick. Just that one little bit has transformed the interior. It's just amazing how easy it is to really make these look good. Now I've got a little section here for my filler neck cover. There we have our panel fully glued up. So I'll start at the bottom. Right, got the final panel now, which is going to go in here. Got our middle piece, our bottom piece. So now I can peel the top one off. And roll it up onto it. Okay. You do always get this funny little lip that sticks out here, which is not a problem because our trim's going to cover it. So that is good. Right, that's the tricky side done. We can do the easy side now, and then we'll start at the front. Right, so if you take a look at the shape of this, it's got a little angle to it, and that is corresponding to this. So this panel here, although we have got the speakers panels going in front, it'd be good to have some sort of acoustic deadening behind it. So it tucks in to that lip, like so. But I think it needs to go up into the capping. Now, I've not actually used any adhesive on the back of that because it's going to be pinned in place, and also I need to get access for the wires. But it does actually tuck in really nicely just into that section there. Right, I've offered up my front carpet in position. Now this is probably the hardest bit to fit because this section here, you need to gather it all together and make sure it stays down tight. Now we're going to fit corner capping protectors as well, which will enhance getting everything clamped down. But if I just show you underneath, I've already got my Dynamat in place, and I've fitted that at the front, the side, on the tops as well, for two reasons. Obviously for sound deadening properties, but also so my tape sticks really nice and firm. I've first taken my tape off at the bottom only. Right, now I've got that down, I'm going to try and do this piece here. Like so. Got to trim these little pockets out here for our bolts when we put our seats in. Strip at the top edge here that I need to remove. That. And also along the top here. And I'm going to do this one as well. Right. And my focus is this corner. I'm really pulling it across to try and meet up. Like so. A little slit in the carpet for your handbrake cable. Slides over there. Yep, that's looking good. This is the key area because obviously the seat's going to keep all this down nice and solid, but I'm really pleased with that. And the front looks really good. Just realised I've got glue here and I don't want it there. A piece of tape, so I'm going to cover that back up, just on that edge. We have to get our lids put back in here. Now, I have got the front footwell area to do as well, but we're going to leave that because the dash has got to come out for our air conditioning to be fitted. So I'm going to leave that for now, but this is all installed, the back's installed. I'm just going to have a little think now to see what we can do about this area here. Now, I will say, for Exmoor trim, well done for including more than ample amount of double-sided tape. I remember the old kits, I'm pretty sure you only got one of these and it was just never enough, but with two, you can really go to town and get a really nice job, and that is what is needed. But when you're spending this sort of money, I think you wouldn't expect anything less. So well done, Exmoor trim. So this is the carpet for our bulkhead that is missing. So what I'm going to do is actually trim that section off there. That should give me enough material to cover the two front faces of the wheel arch boxes. And then I'm going to use this section, cut it down again, and that should fill that trough, that little tray piece between the two seats. Right, let's see how that looks. So these are the sections we're looking to cover. And that is going to do the job nicely. Now they do actually go in, you can see the bracket over there. So I need to actually measure it right to the edge. Keep that as the bottom. Right, so we've got our support bracket here, which sits just in here like this. I've transposed it onto both now, so I cut the panel out. Yeah. Good. So I'm hoping I've learned from experience. The last time that I fitted this, I think I did things up too tight, too quick. So, what we're going to do is just do everything up finger tight this time and get it offered up. So this is what I've got left, and I'm thinking it's got a nice edge to it that would normally sit at the top of your bulkhead. Now, because we're not using that, I might actually use that edge to sit there, because this bit can tuck underneath here. So we just need to get our sizing right. So under here we've got our seatbelt mounting points. Now the bolts are never very long on this, so I don't really think I want any more carpet in there. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to trim this down. Just wondering whether to go over it or under it. I mean, actually that looks a bit tidier, doesn't it? That might look quite nice if it's just gathered like that. I think I prefer that actually. Go ahead and fix the bulkhead bar in, and then we'll put the carpet in over the top. Both of those support brackets are being pulled up, so I need to tighten these up in a second. I'm going to do these up a little bit more now first, right, and then I should just go do these up. The last thing to do is lay this carpet in. Now I can't quite finish the fit yet because I need to do these bolts up. I'm going to get some bolts that are going to suit that better. I want it to be moulded around those brackets, but I'm going to infill the other side there. So the only bit you're going to see at the moment, which is not going to be black, is this panel here. And I have a couple of pieces that I might be able to trim to fit. I don't know yet. It's possible. But I don't want it to look just like a patchwork quilt. It might just be better to leave it as it is, but we'll see how we get on. But I think once this is trapped on there, it's going to look great because it's going to be behind the seats. It's all be tucked away, seat belt, seats. You won't really see it. So yeah, really pleased. Well guys, that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode. The carpet's in as much as I can do. And for those keen-eyed viewers of you out there, you'll notice that I've actually now completed the full AC installation. We've got a new radiator, a new intercooler, and the full AC has been fitted into the front of the vehicle. So that's the next episode, which comes out on Tuesday. You'll be able to see everything that went into that job. So most of the jobs here I can't quite finish completely because they all rely on other things being done at the same time. So there'll be an accumulation where all of a sudden everything will be sort of finished off and tidied up. But hopefully that gives you an idea of what's achievable with those carpet sets. Working with that bulkhead removal bar, you can get a really nice finish. And I think once the interior is fitted, we'll do a real close-up detailed shot and footage of everything that's in there. You'll see just how much of a difference it really does make. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If it's something you're thinking of doing yourself, that should be a really useful guide to give you some ideas and some tips. And if you did enjoy it, please do give me a thumbs up. It'd be great if you guys subscribe. I'm still striving for that 40,000 subscribers milestone. I'm so close now, so it'd be great if you could click the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.